What's going on, guys? It's Picsoleated and we're moving on up in this world today. We've been focusing on hella retro stylish kicks, but today we are going back to the origins, what really started this channel, and that was a focus on them comfortable kicks. Style aside, and you're really gonna have to shove that style aside if you're into that retro classic sneaker look, we're looking at a pair of sneakers that have put me in shock ever since I put them on. Actually, they've done the opposite and absorbed all the shock I put into them, but you get what I'm trying to say. We're looking at the Nike ISPA or ISPA Overreact Sneaker. ISPA originally launched in 2018. It stands for Improvise, Scavenge, Protect, Adapt, and if I didn't know any better, I think these were some Call of Duty Modern Warfare perks, but in reality, these are the characteristics that Nike adheres to when creating a product capable of taking on the unique and shifting changes in the human-made environment. Not a reference to Nigo's human-made label. The Nike ISPA Overreact Sneaker released as part of a staggered collection of ISPA sneakers. In this collection, we have shoes like the incredibly unique ISPA Road Warrior, which I think looks amazing. We have the Overreact Sandal, which is pretty much like the Overreact Sneaker, but sort of a sandal version, or with more of a sandal upper, or I guess what looks like a futuristic sandal. There's the Flow 2020 that uses a very minimal bare bones upper stripped down to the bare essentials to solve one common problem: hot feet in the very hot summer. Come to think of it, I might need a pair of those down the line. Finally, we have the ISPA Drifter, a more stylish sneaker with the tabby toe design, kind of like the ISPA Road Warrior, but for more casual use and less eye poppiness. Is that a word? It definitely has less of a neck breaking factor than the ISPA Road Warrior, but it still has a neck breaking factor nonetheless. The Nike ISPA Overreact sneaker released on July 9th, 2020, and I got my pair just now. Yeah, I know it's been a while. These sneakers retail for $180 and a whopping 310 Canadian dollars here in Canada. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I ended up paying 350 Canadian after taxes. Seems pretty hefty if you ask me. I get this is a very out there, modern take on a sneaker, but I just don't understand that US to Canadian price hike at all. If anything, these should be 250 to 260 Canadian to even that out. Either way, I'm gonna go ahead and try to live with it. I think it's important to mention that these were not a difficult cop at all. I went online over a month after release and was able to get my pair really easily, which is honestly kind of surprising to me because I truly expected these to sell out quick, just like the ISPA Road Warrior, which retails at a whopping $500 US and is sold out now and is now reselling for upwards of $800 US. Now, these shoes haven't sold out yet. They're definitely selling out in some sizes. You can definitely check out your local boutique or other sneaker stores where they're selling these, but I've left a link in the description where you can guaranteed get your size, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested. Now, if you remember, the world went crazy when Nike first introduced the Nike React Flyknit, their first running shoe that incorporated, at the time, Nike's breakthrough cushioning tech known as React. Then they capitalized on the hype with the Element React 87, which, while it was hyped, died a swift and painful death shortly after release as people realized that the shoes didn't feel the greatest once you wore them, and that weird see-through upper just felt like a bag of plastic. I owned a pair and probably sold them after maybe wearing them twice. I'll tell you one thing though, the Nike ISPA label might have started in 2018, but they truly snapped in 2020. We're gonna go more in depth into this sneaker in a moment, but I'll say this right off the bat, I genuinely feel this sneaker and this entire ISPA collection in general has more staying power than the previous Nike React Flyknit, and especially the Element React 87. Now let's go more in depth and quickly go over the materials. First and foremost, let's go over this unique box. Like the shoe, there are plenty of details and asymmetric design cues on this box, and I've heard that people didn't really like this box, and I don't really get that. As a sneakerhead, yes, as Jacques Slade says, it's true, the box of the sneaker is part of the experience for us, and although I'm sure majority of the people do enjoy the unique design of this box, me being a part of that majority, I can't imagine what reason you could possibly have to hate it. I mean, come on, 90% of it's made of recycled materials. The Nike ISPA Overreact is chock full of futuristic materials, but supposedly also made of reused materials. There must have been a lot of brains going into the design of these shoes. And I'm not just saying that because it looks like they took a pair of brains and attached them as the sole of the shoe, but because these break a lot of the conventional sneaker design norms. The upper is made of a handful of knits that includes Flyknit, but also includes fabric that Nike claims they reused to make this shoe that would have otherwise ended up in a landfill somewhere because it was being thrown out for whatever reason. We can see this as it's sort of a one-piece booty construction, but with multiple layers of fabric and patterns. We have this beige or sail knit underlay with multiple asymmetric patterns in the midsection of the shoe and under the toe box. We then have these colorful blue and red panels that I presume are made of Flyknit and are used not just as visual upgrades in an attempt to make the shoe colorful, but also fortified as it is woven across some sort of tougher shape holding fuse. It wraps around the heel and also forms the inner eyelets. Which brings me to the most unique aspect of this shoe, and that is the single pull lacing system which is embedded into the shoe, and at first glance I didn't really understand how it worked until I noticed the velcro near the top outside portion of the shoe. All you have to do is pull this tab off the velcro and it loosens the shoe up so you can slide your foot in. and then you pull on it to tighten and attach the tab back to the Velcro. It's really quick and simple. It really makes you wonder why we still have conventional lacing on most shoes. They say they've removed everything that might get in the way of your feet and included React foam for ultimate comfort, the result being sneakers that wrap around your foot as if they were hugging it, and they're not joking. Then we have essentially the only part of the upper that doesn't feel like it's made of fabric. The toe box has these very minimal leather toe panels with the one big swoosh on the shoe that really isn't that big. This leather panel reinforces the toe and presumably helps prevent you from stubbing your toe in places. It also acts as a third and final eyelet for the lacing system, so that's pretty important. We have this double heel pull tab that I'm not sure why they made 2 heel pull tabs on each shoe, probably just a unique visual hit, that would be my guess. But if you guys know any better, definitely leave it down in the comments and let me know. Now this last bit of detailing on the shoe has me completely puzzled. I have no idea if this has a practical purpose. It kind of feels like it should, but I really can't figure it out for the life of me. These shoes have this random button clip on the tongue area, and it has this like mini cushion with ISPA branding. What is this? A pillow cushion made for ants? Seriously, I don't know why it's there, but obviously if I'm wearing these shoes, I want to keep those on because otherwise I have this empty button on my shoe that would just look out of place and unappealing. And on to the meat and potatoes of this shoe, we have this super thick React midsole with bumps and grooves, hills and valleys everywhere that make it look like what I said previously, a brain on your feet. We have these 2 chunks of what I guess you could call traction material on the heel and toe ends of the outsole. When it comes to sizing, I got these shoes in my true to size 10, and they feel great at that size. I don't feel the need to size up or size down in these. I've heard 1 or 2 people say they would prefer to go half a size down. I personally feel like that might be a touch too small and will get too uncomfortable for your foot. However, I can only give you my best recommendations as all foots are different, so if you do get a chance, try them out in person before you buy. However, I do think you'll be fine with your true to size. When it comes to comfort after wearing these shoes, I can completely understand why they call these the Overreact. Because this midsole is immensely comfortable, provides so much shock absorption, I don't really know what to do with myself here. You will truly overreact once you wear them. When I first tried the Flyknit React and Element React 87 when they first came out, my faith that something new would break the comfort barrier had disappeared. And for the longest time, I've been claiming that certain other cushioning tech from a different brand is the king of comfort, and honestly, I've believed that all the way up until this point. Now, before I go any further with this, I do want to emphasize there are 2 main types of comfort and cushioning tech in my opinion. There's the softer kind of shock absorbing cushioning that literally feels like cushioning tech, and then there's the more firm kind of cushioning that feels like it gives you more of an energy return, a pep in your step, kind of like Nike's Zoom cushioning tech. It's really your preference on what you think is more comfortable when it comes to those 2 type of techs. This falls into the softer shock absorbing tech that I feel like is the king of comfort when it comes to more casual sneakers. And this thing passes with flying colors. This brings me back to the days when I first started filming on-foot videos on my channel. I would jump around a lot more in those videos. My OG subscribers can attest to that. And I realized I did that more in the past because that's just how comfortable the leading edge in cushioning tech at the time was making the shoes I reviewed. When I review the more casual and less techy sneakers that I have as of late, they're much harder to jump around in just because they're really not that comfortable being made of traditional materials and a flat rubber or EVA midsole. The shoe is so comfortable, it brings me back to those days, and I gotta say I'm truly impressed. It's something you have to try on to believe. You know it's a big deal when the shoe's so comfortable it has you contemplating selling the rest of your non-comfy collection just to keep the comfortable shoes. And obviously that's not gonna happen, but I did contemplate it for a few seconds. I will say this though, with all that praise comes a little bit of criticism, and that criticism is with the upper. At times when I'm walking, I feel like there really isn't much support in the upper. It's great, soft, breathable Flyknit, and it has these positive features, but at times I can just feel the lack of heel support, or when I step on my toes and stomp on them, there's this slight uncomfortable feeling. It's not something that breaks the shoe for me, but it is there and can be a slight annoyance if you experience it too. Nike's ISPA might have launched in 2018, but as I said before, they're really breaking ground in 2020. I've never really looked at Nike's ISPA line of products until now. I don't even know if they released anything until now, and I guess there's a really good reason here. These shoes are really breaking barriers in many ways, not just comfort wise, but visually too. You won't find sneakers that look so unconventional yet feel so comfortable and familiar all at the same time, incorporating comfortable tech, out-of-the-box crazy design, and unique initiatives to incorporate reusability, reducing the overall waste and, ironically, the footprint of the shoe. Now, as I said before, you can pretty much find these in retailers that sell this sneaker. They are selling out in some sizes in some places, but you could definitely get lucky. However, I have left a link in the description where you can guaranteed get your size, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested. The Nike ISPA Overreact Sneaker is a supremely comfortable and unique shoe with a breaking next factor of 10 out of 10. So if that's what you're looking for, this is your kind of beast. I honestly wasn't expecting too much from this sneaker, but as you can tell, I was pleasantly surprised. What did you guys think about this shoe? Is this the kind of shoe you'd wear? Did Nike pull off some something incredible, or is this just a wacky looking shoe with a gimmicky feature set? Let me know in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button for more content, and make sure you hit the bell to join Noti Gang and so you don't miss out on future content. I'll catch you in the next one. Picsoleated is overreacting.